Hello folks, John Rush here from Drive Radio. My son Richard Rush behind the camera. We're going to do a review today of the 2016 Jaguar, and I know for us Americans it's hard not to say Jaguar because that's what we're just so used to saying, but I'm probably not even saying it right. Jaguar, I don't know. That's how I'm going to say it throughout the review, so get used to it. Jaguar. F-Type, R model, all-wheel drive, 550 horsepower, 5-liter V8. This car is as fast as it looks. I don't know how else to say it. It is as fast as it looks. It's a beautiful car. They've done a great job on it. We'll show you with the top down in just a moment. I wanted to start with the top up just to give you an idea of what the vehicle looked like. Let's take a walk around and look at the way the vehicle looks from the outside, which frankly is where it's at. So we'll look at the interior also, but where it's at on the outside, it's as fast as it is good looking. It's a fantastic automobile. It just works great. It's a head turner. You can see the big brakes Richard's showing you right now, which makes it stop well. Not only does it fly, it stops, it handles. It's all-wheel drive, which they've added for this year, which makes the vehicle work extremely well. What they've done with the all-wheel drive, just real quick, and you can get all the details on Jaguar's website if you'd like, but what it is, it feels like a rear-wheel drive car when you're driving it, but they assist with handling on the front. This is not a snow car. Please, those of you thinking, oh, this would be a great car for the snow. Well, it would work better than probably a regular rear-wheel drive Jaguar would, but in this particular case, they've done it for the handling, for the way the vehicle actually works on dry pavement. It's still, in my opinion, this is not a snow car. Would it go in the snow? Absolutely. Put the right tires on it and such. The other thing I've also read on the internet, as far as reviews go on this particular car, the tires that actually come on this, which are the Pirelli S's, I guess you could say, just the Pirelli S is a short name for the tire. They claim you can actually do a different set of tires on this vehicle and actually pick up some 0 to 60 time, actually take off 1/10 of a second 0 to 60 time. So it's 3.9 seconds with the stock tires. There's some reviewers out there that have gone 3.8 seconds 0 to 60 time by changing the tires out, claiming the car acts completely different with a different set of tires. So just something to note, a lot of the reviews out there might talk about this particular car not handling as well as they would like. Some of that might actually be the tire itself. Tires make a world of difference on a car. So just some notes. 186 miles per hour top end speed on this particular car. There are 14 different models to choose from on the Type F. Everything from a V6 with an automatic, manual, all-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, and so on. This particular vehicle, though, it's a all-wheel drive only, 550 horsepower. The S model has been discontinued, just so you all know. This particular vehicle, and we're doing a lot of this on the outside because there's not much room on the inside to do things. We'll talk about that here in just a minute. This has got the in-control, secure, and in-control telematics, which gives the driver the ability to really see what's going on with the vehicle when you're not with the vehicle. You can also alert law enforcement if let me back up. If the vehicle gets stolen, it will alert you. You can then alert law enforcement, and with that app, help track the vehicle and recover it that much faster. So another cool feature that it's got. Top can go up and down, up to 30 miles an hour. So I tell you what, let's do this. We'll just get right into the review. Let's open up the trunk. We'll show you. This is one of my negatives on the vehicle. There just isn't any trunk space. So much so that it would be a push. As you can see, you're not even going to get any kind of hard luggage, or maybe one bag. So if it was you and your wife, or you and your significant other out traveling, going on some sort of a little jaunt, you'd have to pack really tight with a duffel bag, guys, down below. And the ladies would have the top area to use because it is really tight. There's just no room in the trunk. We talked, I think, in the last review, you might get a really, really lighter weight, one of the smaller mini golf bags in the back of this, but this is not a car that you're going to have a lot of luggage. And to some people that may or may not be a factor. That's one of the negatives that it gets in the reviews, is it just doesn't have a lot of trunk room. Part of that is because of the convertible, although you don't gain much room with the coupe. This is 7 cubic feet in the convertible. You go up to 11 cubic feet in the coupe, and they do make this in a coupe or in the convertible, just so you all know. So I'll tell you what, let me just climb in. One of the cool features it's got is the exhaust. We'll talk about that here in a minute. As I unlock the door, you'll notice the door handles actually pop out. Again, so when it's closed up, it's got a nice, sleek look. When I climb in and actually start it, those door handles will go in. Let me put the top down for you, though, here real quick. I'm not going to start it. I'm just going to turn the key on. and we'll show you what the vehicle looks like with the top down. I'll climb back out, and that way I'm not inside of it. And it's a pretty fast up and down top, as you can see. So I'm going to climb back out, leave the key on, so you can actually get a good idea of what the vehicle looks like now with the top off. So I'll get out of the way so you can actually see the vehicle. Again, we'll go through the exhaust, the different tones that it makes. It's got the dual tone exhaust built into this car. Again, 550 horsepower, 8-speed transmission. The car just flat flies. Again, it's as fast and it looks as good as it is fast, is how I should say it. So, tell you what, with that, it's gonna be hard for us to do a test drive and kind of show you all that at the same time. The other thing, it's really hard to tell because of the roads that we're on and so on right here. It's hard to tell the performance of this vehicle. In fact, we've had some comments from some folks. You know, you guys in your interior noise, you know, whatever, you know, when you're doing 30 miles an hour, all vehicles are quiet. No, really, they're not. There's a lot of vehicles at 30 miles an hour are extremely noisy. One of the things about this vehicle I will note, even at 65, 70 miles an hour with the top up, it's relatively quiet. And believe it or not, with the top down, it actually works really well. The way they've done the screen and such, you really don't even have a lot of wind noise. I shouldn't say wind noise, a lot of wind in your hair, if you would, with the side windows rolled up, doing that 75, 80 miles an hour. It actually works really, really well for a convertible. And I will tell you what, it is a very, very refined convertible. It works extremely well. I keep saying that, but you'd have to drive the car to know. One thing I didn't note, price. $110,645. As this particular vehicle sits, it starts at $106. It's got the extended leather package for $1,100 and a vision package which gives you adaptive and intelligent front lighting, front and rear parking sensors, and blind spot monitoring for an additional $2,100. I'm not even going to climb in. Richard, why don't you just come over and show the interior real quick so I'm out of the way. It's actually too beautiful for me to even sit inside and show you. I detract from it. Just show the interior, how it looks. All of the seat adjustments, and they're on both sides, are over here on the side panels, which Richard is showing you right now. You adjust all of that. The center vents, which Richard's showing you right now, they do pop up when you're driving. We will show you that once we get driving here in just a moment. Everything else in the center stack, easy to use. It's a very similar system as far as the audio and nav goes with what Jag and Land Rover have used in the past, or currently using, I should say. It's a pretty easy system to use, although I will tell you this, one of the knocks I have on this system is it's not quite as intuitive and easy to use as some of the other systems that are out there. So just a side note, Jag, once you're used to it, it's fine, but it takes a little bit of getting used to know where everything is at on the screen. Again, not a big deal, but just something to be aware of. Tell you what, let's do this. I'll hop in it real quick. I'll put Richard in the back. We'll show you the two-note exhaust, I should say, or the difference in the exhaust sound. You can open and close it accordingly, and then we'll go take a drive.
All right, folks, here we are for the startup process. It's a lot easier to hear me than it is my dad, John, right now. So he's going to start the vehicle, and we're going to show you the two exhaust modes. So that is startup. And that's quiet mode, as you can see. A lot less, more suppressed. Now he's done.
You want to hop in and take a drive?
Absolutely.
Let's do it. All right, folks, now I'm going to take a drive, and I'll give you my opinion, our opinion, I should say, of the Jaguar F-Type. And real quick, just interior-wise, I know it's really tight in here, especially for a couple of bigger guys. USB ports, power port here in the back, not a lot of room in the console. There is kind of a handy cell phone holder, which is kind of cool back here. You can tuck your cell phone in here, stick it away, put that back up so it's not bouncing around the car. A couple of cup holders here in the middle, which actually do carry a fairly large cup, works well. All the rest of your controls are here, convertible top, parking brake. The dynamic exhaust is here, traction control, of course. There's a spoiler in the back that pops up and down that you can actually manually control here, and it comes up and down with speed. Your different modes for snow versus performance. Shifter is here, and the rest of it, honestly, it's self-explanatory. Steering wheel is really standard to Jaguar. Not going to get into a lot of those details. What we're going to do is take a quick drive. And I'm going to actually put the top up as we're doing under 30 to show you how the top actually goes up under 30. It'll help us with a little bit of our noise as we go down the road. And again, it's really hard to show you the performance of the car anyways, but we'll do our best to even do that. So with that, I'm going to go down the road here and we'll pop up the top. The top's coming up as we speak. So I'm doing right now, I don't know, 25 miles an hour. No problems getting the top up. Kind of kills our lighting a little bit. In fact, Richard, is that lighting okay, or should I go back down?
Yeah. Go back down, I think would be good.
Okay, we'll go back down again as we're doing under 30. Not a problem. We can go right up and down.
12 seconds, I will mention, for the top up and top down both.
Okay, so 12 seconds. There you go. All right, with that, I'm going to put the side windows up a little bit just so you can hear. Drivability of the car is great, frankly. In fact, smoothness of the car. You know, I've got a Corvette that I drive, 2012 model, and I will tell you this car is much more comfortable to drive than my car. Of course, it costs, you know, $40,000 more, so you would expect that. But my wife even commented about how refined this car is over our car. You know, it's just a really, really refined car. It works great. Speed. The car just flies. I don't know how else to say it. You get on it, and away you go. It's as simple as that. I'm going to pull over and give you our opinion real quick of this car. I think you can tell from the review already and some of what we've done in the past. This car, and it does have the automatic start-stop, which I should talk about, contributes to the fuel economy. So this car is rated, I think, 18 to 22-ish roughly. And I actually averaged 24 miles to the gallon in this car doing some highway and city driving. So 24 in this car, not bad at all for 550 horsepower. What do I think of the car? Minus the trunk, which is my biggest con on this car, the rest of this car I love. Now, if you're a bigger person, you know, a larger gentleman, we've got a guy that works for us that's 6'4", he cannot fit in this car, literally. I mean, he can, but he needs a can opener to get in and out of it. So you need to get in this car and test drive it yourself, especially if you're a larger individual, because you're going to find it might be a little cramped depending upon how big you are. Outside of that, not a single con on this car. It works fabulous. It's a blast to drive. If you've got a loose 100+ K sitting around, you know what? This car might be for you. And as one thing about these cars, too, to note that I've done some studying on, they're not holding their value quite as well as some of the other high-end sports cars are, which means you might be able to buy one of these cars either now that's a year or two old or wait until this model's a couple of years old. They're not holding their value, which is not necessarily a huge negative. It might be for the guy buying it initially, but for those of you in the used car market, that's kind of a plus. You can buy a really nice, fast, luxury sports car, and these things are dropping in price. You'll be able to buy one in a couple of years for a lot less than 110K. So, with that, get out, check out this vehicle at your local Jag dealer. Tell them John and Richard Rush from Drive Radio sent you.